Now, this whole Ardon Jashari situation between Club Brugge and Milan, it's getting disrespectful. It's getting messy. And it's time wasting for both clubs. But to add more fuel to the fire, you've got CEOs coming out and making comments about Milan, the way they negotiate and the offer they've put on the table. You've got sporting directors coming out and saying Ardon Jashari is not for sale. And then you've got the club captain coming out after a pre-season game to say if Milan want Ardon, they need to pay the 40 million. Why is everybody involved? Why does everybody feel the need to share their opinion? But this whole situation, in my opinion, is putting a massive hold on Milan's recruitment, on Allegri's future plans, and a solution needs to be found. Now, in this video, we break down what Milan should do next. Should they continue fighting this battle, which they're currently losing? Club Brugge want a package of 40 million. Milan's best offer has been 35 million. Or should Milan start to look at other targets? Because maybe, just maybe, the grass is greener on the other side. Now, if you're new, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, always engage in the comments. I feel like this whole Milan, Club Brugge, Ardon Jashari, it's really become a tug of war. And I feel like these two teams must hate one another. Like when the phone rings at Club Brugge headquarters and it's somebody from Milan, they must be sat cursing. They must be sat fuming. If any manager goes up to any Milan board member and tells them, listen, I want you to get me that player. Oh, really, mate? What team does he play for? Club Brugge. Ah, shit. These two just hate working with one another. And I'll be honest with you guys, I feel like Milan are playing a very, very, very risky game. And sometimes it works. Like, how many times in football have you seen a club not willing to negotiate? They're not really willing to budge on that final 2, 3, 4 million. But over time, with the player being unsettled, the player being unhappy, maybe the player putting in a transfer request, they're like, you know what? For the sake of this player, for the sake of us moving forwards, for the sake of us bringing these negotiations to an end, we will happily take 38 million. We will happily take 37 million with a sell-on clause, with a percentage, with some extra incentives and bonuses. But I feel like Milan are not dealing with that type of team. Club Brugge, I feel like, are more than happy to keep Jashari at the club for another 12 months, knowing he's unhappy, knowing he's unsettled, knowing they've just blocked his dream move. Like when you look at how all of them have been behaving, from the CEO, from the director to the club captain. In what world have you guys seen club captains come out of a pre-season camp after a pre-season game and the first thing they say is, yeah, if Milan want Jashari, they need to go and pay the 40 million. That's what we want. That's what the club wants. You have to pay it. In what world? Like, in what world do you see this happen? I'll be honest, it's getting really, really, really messy. And I look at Milan and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because of this Milan board and the fact that I have no faith in them. I could really see this happening. And this is why I said it's a massive risk what Milan are currently doing. I wouldn't be surprised if in 1-2 weeks time Milan finally walk away from the deal and they're like, you know what, we're not paying the 40 million. 35 million, take it or leave it. You don't want it? No problem. By that time, their other targets have been snapped up. Milan turn around and tell the whole world when the Serie A campaign starts, listen, we spent over a month trying to get Jashari. We couldn't get him and now we've run out of time. Our plan B has been snapped up. Our plan C has been snapped up. We done what we can. We done what we can. That doesn't leave them in a great position, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I've seen it across so many teams in the world where they put all their eggs in one basket. We want this player and we want this player only. They don't get the player. Ah, shit. We've now run out of time. They go and try and get plan B. Plan B has just gone up by 20 million in price tag. By 10-15% in price tag. You have to bear in mind, clubs are happy to negotiate and sell before pre-season starts. Clubs are not happy to negotiate and sell when the season is about to start, unless you tick all their boxes. If you don't tick all their boxes, they have no need to sell you this player when their league campaign starts in a week, because now they've disrupted their camp. Now they've disrupted their overall rebuild. Now they've only got 1 week to go out and find a replacement. And the problem is, which club is going to sell you a player 1 week until the season starts? Because now you disrupt their plans. And that's why I always say that, me personally, I'm a big fan of clubs that operate where they say, we are happy to sell, we are happy to buy before pre-season. As soon as pre-season starts, This is the squad that we are going to go into the next Serie A campaign with. These are the 24 players. These are the 26 players. Yes, we might have these 2 or 3 players that we're open to selling, but we're not bringing anybody in. Every single new recruit has to have a full pre-season campaign. And I look at Milan and I say, maybe, just maybe, it's time to either just pay the money that Club Brugge want or go and get somebody like HAJJBALL. Because that dude is also beginning to pick up some attention. There's clubs in the Premier League that want him. It's being reported that Valencia are willing to offer him a new deal. Now you have to bear in mind, if a new deal is offered, if he costs 20 million now, after that new deal, he costs you 50 million. Okay? His contract would be longer. He'd be on better wages. It's a risky game that Milan are playing. It's a very, very, very risky game. Yes, behind the scenes, they're working on the Estupinian deal, which looks like it's about to be secured and done. But you could clearly see the primary target is Ardon Jashari. And I feel like that is when the whole midfield rebuild will be complete. Luka Modric, Ricci, Jashari, on top of, I don't know, Loftus-Cheek, Fofana, Musa, who's potentially might be staying. Okay, it's a good enough midfield to head into the new campaign. But if they don't get him, and they try and get plan B and plan C, and they've been snapped up, or now their clubs are not willing to sell them, Milan have screwed themselves. Milan have screwed themselves. Like, it's the harsh truth. And that's why I feel like this saga has now gone on for too long. Like, don't get me wrong. If it went on for like a week, I'd stay on board. Maybe they'll budge. Maybe they'll realize you're serious. Maybe they'll sit down and be like, listen, over 5 million, like, it's not worth it. We can't turn down this opportunity. Let's sell him. They don't look like that type of club. They look like they want their 40 million. And I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if Milan even offer 40 million and they turn around and say, yeah, no, we want more. We want more. Like, they're really coming across like a very petty club. I don't know, guys. Like, I'll be honest with you guys. It's really holding back Milan's recruitment plans. I feel like it's also holding them back from moving on to other targets because this is their priority. What do you guys make of it? Like, I've just been sat in the distance, in the background, watching it, and I'm thinking, Milan might need to just step back. Milan might actually need to step back. And do you know what it is? It doesn't mean that they've lost the battle. It just means that they're mature enough. They're smart enough to be like, you know what? We're not going to waste our time. Because if we do waste our time, it holds us back when this Serie A campaign starts. But because of that, we are going to grab somebody else. At the end of the day, we tried. They weren't really willing to negotiate. They weren't really willing to lower their terms. And because of that, we still have to think of ourselves. We have to put ourselves first. We still need that extra midfielder. Let's go and get HAJJBALL. I don't know. Like, what's going on? It's genuinely a shit show. I feel like that's the best way to put it. It's a shit show. A lot of time is being wasted. Like, it's now hit a month, guys. It's hit over a month. Once you exceed 30 days, that's when you have to make that tough decision. If it's been 1 week, you don't have to make a tough decision. If it's 2 weeks, you don't really have to make a tough decision. After a month, you should know clearly how much they want, why they've refused your offer, what they're willing to budge on. You should know all of the internal information regarding that deal after a month. You should know every single small bit of detail. And I feel like Milan definitely know every single small bit of detail. So if they're not willing to pay the price, I'm telling you guys, just move on. Go and get another sound target. The grass might be greener on the other side. You might go and get HAJJBALL and then he becomes the next big thing. And don't get me wrong, he's a great player. But I just feel like too much time is being wasted on this. And it might genuinely bite them in the ass. Now, if you're new, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on another one.